Welcome. I'm Ron Barnes. I welcome you to our celebration of service. It's an honor to be your president. We have a long agenda today, so I'm going to get this started and we'll move us along. The positive thought for the day, I think it's fitting for what's going on in the Middle East. It says darkness cannot be driven out by darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Martin Luther King. For our reflection today, Roseanne Levy.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure to be here. In light of what Ron mentioned about what's going on in our world today, I'm actually pleased that, and it's ironic that I am speaking on the joy of clowning. And I certainly hope I will bring some of you some joy. The issue for me with what's going on right now, even though it's so horrific, is my grandson happens to be in Israel right now. And if I get emotional, you'll forgive me. I believe he's safe right now. I spoke to my daughter this morning and he's gone up north away from the strip. So please, everyone, keep him in your thoughts and please say a prayer for him and for his safety. Thank you. Okay. Many of you know I'm a professional clown named Rosie. And you might ask, well, why did you become a clown? Well, my answer is, I really don't know, except it sounded like fun. I had met a friend of mine in Florida who approached me and she said, Rosie, I'm a clown. And I looked at her as if she were crazy. I said, a clown? What do you mean you're a clown? She said, well, I went to clown school. My name is Tulips. That's the number 2 lips. And she loved it. And I was so intrigued that I decided to enroll in clown school. It was really an amazing experience because they teach you everything in 6 weeks. They teach you how to put on a face. They teach you what color, what kind of wigs to wear, what kind of costumes to wear, what kind of socks, what kind of shoes. And I also learned you have to wear some type of headband or something in your hair at every event that you go to. I actually would wear at every holiday something that depicted the holiday. Christmas came, it was candy canes. Halloween, it was a little kind of witch's hat. So whatever it was, it depicted the holiday. And the other thing is about clowning and about clowns is all your skin must be covered. You can't have any skin exposed. Well, I enrolled and I loved it. Next slide. As you can see, this is my graduation class. And what I love about this particular picture is the colors. Clowning is also very colorful. And believe it or not, I even received a clown diploma. Now, clowns have a long and fascinating history that dates back thousands of years. The concept of clowning can be traced to ancient civilizations such as ancient Egypt and ancient Greece, where jesters and comedic performers entertained audiences with all their antics. One notable figure in the clowning is Emmett Kelly. I'm sure many of you have heard of him. Next slide, please. He gained fame in the mid-20th century. Kelly portrayed a sad or hobo clown, bringing a different dimension to clowning by exploring deeper emotions. In addition to the hobo clown, he was also known as the tramp. But yet there are 2 other types of clowns. The white-face clown. Next slide, please. And the white-face clown is renowned for her superiority, if you will. And she's majestic, or he. It could be a he as well. And there is another clown. Next slide, please. This is the Auguste clown. That's me. That's Rosie. I'm an Auguste clown who has prominent skin tones with white and black features and known as a circus clown who usually entertains with a silly routine. And those of you who know me know I'm silly. As Rosie, I entertain in various forms of comedic entertainment, including festivals, parades, walkarounds, skits, joke telling, all celebratory events, as well as make balloons. Next slide, please. As you can see, my balloon, my snowman family, which I love, and my floral arrangement. I'm a happy clown, telling silly jokes, spreading laughter and joy as I interact with audiences of all ages. And in some occasions, next slide, please, Artie helps me as Mr. Rosie. Meet Mr. and Mrs. Rosie. Now, I'd like to share with you a poem that actually my teacher in clown school had written. What makes a clown, you might ask? Some colored hair, a costume bright, a funny red nose is sure to delight. What makes a clown, you might ask? I suspect it's really more than this. It's a warm smile, a laugh that's shared, a spirit lifted to make someone glad. It's a gift of heart from the clown. That is what transforms a frown. What makes a clown, you might ask? It's all of this and nothing less. Today, clowns continue to captivate audiences around the world. They can be found in circuses, theme parks, children's parties, and even as a part of therapeutic programs where they use humor and laughter to bring joy to those in need. So what I'd like to do is just leave you with one of my silly jokes. And if you know the answer, please just shout it out. Who helped the little pumpkin cross the road? Anyone? Yes? Oh, I love it. I owe you a prize. Yes, did everybody hear that? A crossing gourd. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. I'm sorry that Artie couldn't be here to hear this. He got caught in the traffic jam out here and did a 180. We have introduction of guests. David Meyer.
Well, I am delighted to say that we have a large slate of guests this morning. It would be really great if, when I call your name, if you could stand up so that we could recognize you. So first we have Peyton Hyde. He's a guest of the club. Then Kristen Hyde, also a guest of the club. Adrienne Kelly, a guest of Tracy Jovanovic. Mark Sanders, a guest of Art Levy, Roseanne Levy. Marilyn Ballard, a guest of Dick McKay. Marilyn is one of our representatives to RILA. Thank you. Grace Ballard, also a guest of Dick McKay. Marilyn McKay, guest of Dick McKay. Mary Beth, thank you. Rachel McAfee, guest of Jim Bryant. And Anna McCulloch, guest of Tracy Jovanovic as well. Thank you so much for coming. And if you are interested in learning more about Rotary, I encourage you to look left or look right and to speak with any one of our Rotarians present about club membership and what we're about. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Thank you very much, Dave. Any online guests, Joy?
Yes, yes, Ron, we are happy to welcome again David Willett from Plymouth Rotary in Michigan. So glad to have him. And welcome to all our other guests.
Thank you, Joy. And we have some birthdays to celebrate. Tim Jessen celebrated his on Sunday, October 8th. Art Olmich, tomorrow, October 11th. 39 years. And by the way, welcome back, Art. We missed you. And Jim Capshew on the 14th of October. Hey, there he is. Thank you. We have some anniversaries to celebrate, Rotary anniversaries. Tim Jessen, 7 years. Mary Getz, 1 year. And Tracy Jomanich, 1 year. So couple quick announcements. On November 9th will be the FutureCast panel. It used to be called the Business Outlook panel. And there will be no meeting on Tuesday the 7th, but Natalie will be getting out the sign up information for you this week. So please sign up for this most informative event. The other thing is Rotarac is looking for an out of town service project. They want to do a road trip. And if you have any ideas, please share them with me or with Joy. They really want to get involved in a service project, not just in Bloomington, but somewhere else, possibly working with the unhoused in one of the urban communities near us. Now we get a chance to have happy dollars, and it's a hyper happy dollars to raise some funds for RILA. We've had more people enter RILA this year than we've ever had before, and we need some more dollars. And the board says, hey, why don't we just do a hyper happy dollars to help fund? We need $375, and I will start the process by throwing my $20 in the ring. And my happiness is your support of RILA.
Ron,
Yes.
this is Joy, and I am happy to contribute $25 to the Hyper Dollars for RILA.
Yes, I've got 25 happy dollars. Connie and I have been together 25 years, and this Friday, the 13th, is our 21st wedding anniversary.
All right, I'll be right there, Rosie. I'm gonna put 100 in because 3 of the kids are mine. And I'm just gonna say, if you have not seen the Bloom, it is like Rotary R Us this month. Bear with me. Can you hold the mic for me? So we first have Steve Versaw in the article here. Then we have the Commission on Black Males, which Caleb Poor, a member, is a part of. And not to mention Boys to Men star Trent Deckard, where are you? You're in there. Looking for a song from you later. And in case you miss it, the Fire Pit, that is our home. Who knew we were going to be in there? Jean Hurley is featured in an article in there. We also have Teresa Clare for Hurlo in there. And not to be outdone, we have our own Grand Dame, Charlotte Zitlow, from 2017 article in there, along with Shelley Yoder. So it is truly Rotary is Us in Bloom Magazine. You don't want to miss that. And as I come to Rosie, my CASA case got closed successfully today, so I'm very happy about that.
Hi, I have $10, happy dollars, for in honor of my grandson, Charlie, who is really making his way in Israel. He went over to play professional basketball. This is his 4th year. And unfortunately, the war broke out. So I'm just giving this happy dollars to keep him safe.
And Ron, this is Glenda online when I get a chance.
You're online right now.
Okay. I was showing Dr. Hadawi. I had carpal tunnel surgery this morning, and because of Zoom, I can still come to Rotary. And so I pledged $25 for RILA as well. Just
Thank
don't be giving me the high fives right now.
Thanks, Glenda.
And I have 20 happy dollars for those, many of us who are very unhappy right now. Hang in there.
Thank you.
Hi, I am delighted to see everyone today, and I will contribute $20 for Ryla, a great cause we Rotarians should stand behind and support and make the world of ours smaller than it is large and big and far away. I appreciate all the support Ryla could get in this operation.
Thanks, Raj.
I have 60 happy dollars. Happy to have my granddaughters with me today.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Dick.
Can I chime in here online?
Absolutely.
I'll chip in $100, in part, 30 of that is for my 30th year with my life partner, Jim Mahady, and celebrating that and everything else that's wonderful about Bloomington, Indiana University, and Rotary.
Thank you, Jeff, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Since we're doing this today, give $25 for my wife's 80th birthday, which is next week, but this is a good cause.
Thanks, Jim.
Happy dollars, anything Raj supports, I'll support. And I just had a phone call minutes ago from Tim Jessen, who is in Cairo, Egypt, on his way to Tel Aviv, but that trip's been canceled. And so prayers for all those there.
I have 10 happy dollars today. My son got engaged and we are all very, very happy.
Nice. Here's 10 happy bucks. I'm just happy I'm back.
We are too.
Thank you. Hello, Rotarians. I have 10 happy dollars for Ryla as well. And I was also in Bloom magazine because we were at Fairview School welcoming the kids back. I'm that fat guy with the blue hat. So you didn't see my face, but thank you.
Okay, I almost said something. I was like, no, he'll think I recognized his legs and butt. Because your face wasn't really showing.
I have 20 happy dollars. This is my first week starting my new job at Sycamore Land Trust.
Wow.
20 for healthcare workers.
And Natalie, if you can put $21. So we just opened since you mentioned Hurlo Wealth Management Group, we just opened our brand new office last week, celebrating 21 years.
Charlotte has a hand up here too.
Okay, I'll have to do online since I didn't bring cash with me, but I have 50 happy dollars on behalf to offer on behalf of Amina Mohammadi, who drove yesterday my car on I-69 on the interstate for the first time to Martinsville and back.
Thanks, Dave.
I think you should get the happy dollars for having the courage. Last one.
Charlotte, right here.
And I will give 20 happy dollars to Ryla because I think that the fate of the world depends on the young people.
Thank you, Charlotte, and thank you for all of your generosity for Ryla. We get a chance to welcome some new members today. So we have a Rotary induction ceremony that will be starting real soon. I'll ask that Tracy and her team, rumor has it, Alon and Aaron and Rosie are going to be a part of the induction ceremony.
All right, going for the quick change artist here, so thanks for your patience. This is a special time when we all get to reaffirm why we joined Rotary and listen to the induction language, which I always find inspiring, frankly. And I'm so happy to have new members joining because that means we're growing. And that means while we're growing, we're also coming closer together as a community, which, as we stated earlier, ever more important in the world we live in today. So, couple of bios. Come on up. Don't be shy. Miss Rosie Clown, come on over here. I want to be able to see you. And you too, Tom. Right over here. All right, so let me read Tom Gallagher's bio. Tom Gallagher's father worked for the Navy as a civilian personnel officer and located to Southern Indiana in January of 1942 to help establish Crane Naval Base. Pretty important for this area. The base had everything to offer except schools, and so he attended Lawrence County schools. He lived on the base till he was 18 and then moved to Bloomington, where he has lived ever since. He worked at the Herald Times. I'm laughing because you have telephone in parentheses, and I always call it the Herald Telephone, not to show my age, in the late 70s until the mid 1980s doing advertising. In 1985, Tom was hired as the first downtown director to start the Main Street program as outlined by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Duties involved economic development, design restoration guidance for historic properties, and promotions. One of his most satisfying promotions was the installation of the canopy of lights for the holiday season and the hospice tree. In the 90s, he began his real estate career and has done nothing but that ever since. He's been on several boards, including that of the Bloomington Restorations, the Lotus Music Festival, the Old Library, the Bloomington Area Arts Council, and others. Currently, he is serving on the Friends of Lake Monroe Board and the advisory boards of the Arts Alliance and WFHB. Tom enjoys gardening, the performing arts, traveling, and being out in nature. And he believes in giving back to the community, in particular, assisting groups that aid the growth and give positive forward paths to young people. Okay. And then David Wright is the owner of Adzuka Adzuk's Puppets, a puppet performance troupe he co-founded with his wife, Robin Holm, in 1995. As a traveling troupe, they have been invited to perform in schools, libraries, festivals, and museums throughout Indiana and across the country. As full-time puppeteers, they have presented over 4,000 performances and workshops for over 300,000 participants. A graduate of Wabash College, David holds a BA in mathematics, which goes together naturally, with a minor in education. In his younger years, however, his favorite classroom was his local library. There he discovered a wide range of interests, especially in history, philosophy, and the sciences. An explorer at heart, he's traveled to over 25 countries, a passion that was awakened in high school with a summer spent in Germany through the IU Honors Program in Foreign Languages. Other hobbies include hiking, biking, chess, stained glass, and attending events and festivals. A lifelong lover of puzzles, he has spent, and this is very appropriate for right now, he has spent the last few years trying to tackle one of the world's most perplexing problems, war. The result is a book he has written that proposes a strategic approach to the idea of world peace. His hope is to share what he's learned along the way to inspire others to contemplate an end to war and to encourage them to view international peace and justice as a practical, achievable goal. So, Aaron?
David Wright and Tom Gallagher, on behalf of the board and membership of the Bloomington Rotary Club, it is a great pleasure to welcome you as the newest members of our club. We look forward to the fellowship that we will share, as well as your participation in the club projects that make our club, community, country, and world a better place. Though Rotary isn't a political organization, Rotarians are vitally concerned with good citizenship and the election of effective leaders to public office. While Rotary is not a religious organization, it is built on those highest principles that have served as a moral compass for people throughout the ages. Rotary is an organization of business, professional, and community leaders pledged to uphold the highest ethical and moral standards. Rotarians believe that worldwide fellowship and peace can be achieved when people work together and uphold the Rotary motto of service above self. Rotary activities exemplify the partnership, respect, and generosity that one would expect from people who believe that they have a responsibility to help others. David and Tom, you have been chosen for membership in the Bloomington Club because your fellow members believe you to be leaders in our community and because you possess the qualities to champion the message and principles of Rotary. You are representatives of your vocation and talents within our club and community. You have now become an ambassador of Bloomington Rotary, carrying the ideals of service to all within your sphere of influence. Our community will know and judge Rotary by your character and service. We'll also look to you for inspiration as we strive to become better Rotarians. We will now pin you with the distinguished badge of a Rotarian, your Rotary pin. We ask that you wear your Rotary pin with pride in your many endeavors and as a symbol of our recognition of your contribution toward a better world through your Rotary membership. This is the hardest part of it.
I got it.
Fellow Rotarians, please rise if you are able and welcome our newest Rotarians, David Wright and Tom Gallagher.
Good picture.
Aaron mentioned generosity. Just to show your generosity towards Ryla, $701 was raised today. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to ask Henry Leck to come up and introduce our program for today, which we're excited to hear about.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have a special opportunity to find out a little bit more about what Bloomington does to attract visitors and make Bloomington a destination city. Our speaker today is Mike McAfee, who's the Executive Director of Visit Bloomington. Mike moved to Bloomington 16 years ago. He has a bachelor's degree in marketing from Millikan University. Previously, he worked with the Missouri Division of Tourism, the NBG Radio Network, and the Joplin, Missouri Convention and Visitors Bureau. For 4 years, he taught a destination marketing course through the IU School of Public Health. Mike reports to the Visit Bloomington Board of Directors Executive Committee and the Monroe County Convention and Visitors Commission. Mike manages a team of 9 and a budget of $1.7 million with funding from the county hotel tax. Visit Bloomington promotes our city and produces partnerships and research-based systematic marketing programs. Please welcome Mike McAfee.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Henry. You must have did some digging and found a lot more stuff to say about me than I provided you. I like that. Very, very good stuff. But it is absolutely my pleasure to be here speaking to Rotary today, and pretty awesome to watch that fundraising and that support that you just did, and give. That's what this organization is all about. But I just love to be a part of it, and standing here in this priceless 90-year-old building that we all love and cherish. That's so much a part of my job, and I'm going to tell you all about that in a second. But yeah, I've been in Bloomington 16 years, and 16 years ago when I moved here, they told me right away, you have to live here 15 years before you can call yourself a local. So last year I was so excited about that. I'm a local, I'm like a cutter and all that type of stuff. But that's really the secret sauce right there, is everybody who we promote to and we try to get here, they want to come here and feel like a local, right? They want to open up our website. They want to say, okay, where do Mike and his wife go for rock and roll date night, and where do they eat, and what do they do? And so that's the feeling everything I'm going to talk about, that's the feeling we try to give to people, whether they're coming here for a meeting or to experience a football game and all that type of stuff. So, yeah. Is it clicking? There we go. Okay, so my wife is here. My wife is here today, and she got invited by Jim Bright, and so I did want to just take a second, and just talk about Bloomington and how much I love my life here, and this incredible destination that I get to promote. But this is Rachel. We have 4 daughters, 2 dogs, just an incredible life. We're going through a remodel right now. So See this thing over to the left? You know what that is? That is a shoe cabinet that I spent almost all of last weekend assembling. I didn't build it, I assembled it. I even used a drill, but I'm still sore from it. But how many shades of white paint are there? That's a question for the group. Multiple choice answers, 4, 40, or 400. Well, I'll tell you, infinity. There are absolutely infinity shades of white paint, and we've looked at them all as we go through this house remodel. But no, all jokes aside, again, I'm just want to give a shout out to my wife for putting up with me and all of that. But Visit Bloomington, Convention and Visitors Bureau of Monroe County, Inc. And I want to make sure to point that out. There's a couple of county politicians in the crowd. I want to make sure everybody knows it is absolutely our job to promote all of Monroe County, all of Monroe County. We're lucky to do that. We get to call ourselves Visit Bloomington because people get that. They understand where Bloomington is. Most often you aren't traveling to a county. Now we do happen to be located next to the exception, right, in Brown County. People do travel there, but most of the time you're traveling to a city, a destination that's a city, and we're lucky to have Bloomington as our county seat. It is part of Monroe County. We all do live in Monroe County. So again, everything that I talk about, it's about promoting Monroe County to all types of visitors. I'm going to get into the details of that in a second. But Visit Bloomington was created in 1977 when the Convention and Visitors Commission in Monroe County was created by statute, Indiana Code 6942, when the county started collecting a 3% innkeeper's tax at the time. And they used that to promote tourism. And this Convention and Visitors Commission is, again, it's a county board. It is made up of, it is by law, that statute, it is made up of 5 members. 4 of them are hoteliers. 1 of them is a county council member. The one hotelier, or one of the hoteliers, is actually the person who runs this hotel here at the Union. Either the director or the associate director of the Union is the chair of that commission at all times. Let me go backwards for a second. So we're a not-for-profit. Again, I report to a board of directors, 15 to 19 members, as you can imagine, wineries and hoteliers and restaurateurs and arts people and all types of stuff like that. Those are members of my board. And again, we have a contract with this Monroe County Convention and Visitors Commission to do the sales and marketing work that we do. This is our mission from Visit Bloomington. All of this stuff is on my website, but our mission focus, really a couple big things that I want to point out here on this slide: help drive new visitor demand. New visitor demand is really what we're trying to do and spend a lot of time there. We don't need to be out promoting football next Saturday for the homecoming game versus Rutgers. This town is going to be jam-packed, right? What we're trying to do is, I'll talk a lot about this, create new Sunday through Thursday business. And there's one special way we're really trying to do that. I'll talk about the convention center in a few minutes, but new Sunday through Thursday business. Be a valuable community organization as well, partner with all kinds of community partners, that type of stuff. I'll talk more about that. Under target market segments in the middle, I'm sorry if this is too small, but the middle column at the bottom, target market segments, meetings and business travel, sports travel, events, music, arts and culture, that type of stuff going on down. Our mission filter test, outcome increases visitor test or visitor spending, emphasis on midweek overnight stays. Is the impact good for the community? And does the outcome foster inclusion? That's a newer one. I'll talk more about that in a second. But again, new weekday business and making sure that we're doing it at a time of year that is beneficial for the community at a time when we need the business. Of course, this one right here. There's nothing more impactful than when the Hoosiers are winning football games, and winning kind of cures all of that type of stuff. So I'm not too optimistic about this weekend going into Ann Arbor, but next weekend, for the following weekend for homecoming here against Rutgers, and that'll be a big weekend, as you know, in Bloomington. So go Hoosiers as always. But getting into that, This is our Disney World here at Indiana University. It really is kind of the main attraction, that driver. Out of the 3 million visitors that come to Bloomington, 3 million plus that come to Bloomington every year, a little over 1 million are coming here for an IU visit for some reason, whether it's sports or to visit the kids or whatever it might be. It is the culture creator for the community, for the whole area. And I'm going to talk quite a bit about that in just a second. Economic impact of tourism in Monroe County. You can see I hope you can see them, but I've got 2019, 2020, and 2021 numbers up there. Because that's the reason I don't have 22 numbers, because the economic impact we get for 2022 will be ready at the end of 2023, but we'll get that later this year. But as you can see, pandemic, as things started to rebound from the pandemic, 2019 was a remarkable year, a huge tourism year for Monroe County. Visitors spent about $430 million, jobs supported nearly 7,000, and you can see those have come back to almost 6,000 jobs. Now, I'm not sure that all of those jobs are ever going to come quite back. I think what's happening too is a lot of companies, a lot of restaurants, a lot of hospitality service related organizations have learned during the pandemic how to do more with less and streamline things and that type of stuff. But 2022, I can tell you right now, was a record year as far as tourism in Monroe County, as far as dollars spent and sheer number of visitors coming here. By far, we surpassed 2019, and we are right now double for 2023. We are double digits ahead of 2022. So things are going very well when it comes to that. And again, very lucky to have the destination and the support that we do to be a part of that. But you know, and that's all through ways that we measure, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Where are they spending it? I think just my point here is that everybody's got to eat. So food and beverage is what people spend. Out of every $100 spent, they're spending $32 on food and beverages. So you all know that when you go somewhere for a trip, where are we going to eat is pretty much one of the main points that you're talking about. These numbers are small, but I'll read some to you. These are hotel numbers, and I talked about that. One thing I didn't say was 3% innkeeper's tax that's collected by the county that the Convention and Visitors Commission oversees. It was increased to 5% in 1990 when we built the Monroe Convention Center. I'll talk about that in a second when I talk about the expansion of the convention center. But a couple numbers here I wanted to show you. I talked about 2022 being a record year for tourism as far as revenue in the market and sheer number of people, and these are ways that I can measure that. You know, the biggest indicator that I can tell that there's more money being spent, obviously, is I follow that innkeeper's tax, and I'm able to follow the food and beverage tax as well. And those numbers were way up last year, and they're up this year as well. But if you look out the bottom column here, or the second column, that's average daily rate. So in 2022, the average daily rate at a hotel room here in Bloomington was $130. And the previous year it was $101. So average rate went up by $29 a night last year. And this year it's $141. So we're up about $11 over that. The fifth column down, demand, is actually number of room nights consumed or sold in the market. Last year, we beat the previous year, the record year, by 56,000 room nights. And this year, we're ahead of that by 16,000 room nights. So a lot of that revenue has to do with inflation and the cost of rooms, but as well as sheer number of people in the market, there are more of those. Now, here's the big kicker. Airbnb, short-term rentals. I did a search right here before I came over here, as I was putting this together yesterday, and I searched for places to stay November 14th through the 16th, so mid-November. I think that's a Wednesday, that's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 2 guests, 794 places were available in Bloomington to rent. for those nights. I used to say 10 years ago, I'd say, there's about 100 rooms on any given night. Every year it'd go up. There's about 200 rooms on any given night. Last year I was saying there's about 500 Airbnb rooms on any given night. Well, now there are 800 rooms available in Bloomington on any given night. Last year, short-term rentals, so that's Airbnb, VRBO, they did over $15 million in revenue in Bloomington, a little over $1 million a month coming in through short-term rentals. They're collecting that innkeeper's tax. So if you do the math, they're bringing in about another $500,000 in innkeeper's tax that we're able to use for marketing purposes that we didn't have years ago. So that really helps us in our marketing efforts. Am I doing okay on time? Okay, because I got a long way to go. Markets having the greatest impact. This is exactly what we want to see. Chicago, these are our target markets, and these are the ones who are on our website the most. They're the most visitors in town from these out-of-town markets, and the most people spending the money. Chicago, Evansville, Louisville. The fourth one says New York. That's not a target market for Visit Bloomington. We don't go into New York and advertise there. The sole reason that's happening is because of the efforts of the university and targeting the East Coast families and those kids coming here. We all know it. Their buck goes a long way here in Bloomington. Many of those parents are coming in and buying second homes where their students are living and things like that. We hear about that and see it all the time. But Fort Wayne, Terre Haute, Cincinnati, South Bend, St. Louis and Detroit are two newer markets that we've just started promoting in and marketing in more, and it's great to see them on this list. I actually have a tool now, it's brand new, where I'm tracking smartphones. So I'm able to see with smartphones where people are at, how much money they're spending, where they're going, and what they're doing. It's kind of scary. I'm just now getting used to handling it. You'll hear a lot more about that research in the coming years. That's where I got this graph from right here. So comparison of visitor types. Out of our 3 million visitors, 67% of them come here for leisure purposes. Again, that could be visiting the kids at school. It could be coming to the Lotus Festival. It could be coming for all kinds of things. 17% of them come here for either to attend or play in a sporting event. And 14% of them are coming here for business reasons, which could be a conference, university-related visit, or other types of business. This one is a long graph too. I won't go too much into it, but the really one thing I want to say here is per person per day, a leisure visitor spends $161 in the community. And these are 2018 numbers. So they're old, they're very conservative. I feel very comfortable saying them because they're 5 years old. I know they're conservative, but a leisure visitor spends $161 per day, whether they stay overnight or not. That's an average of that. A sports visitor is $158, and a business visitor is $214. So again, those business visitors are coming here midweek and spending the most money. So certainly we're looking at targeting them. Our strategic plan, we do a 3-year strategic plan. We just are in the midst of a brand new one, 23 through 25. These are some of the main initiatives that I pulled to show you. Again, our strategic plan is located on our website. You can find all of this information explained in great detail. But major initiatives, all of our programs, is it bringing in Sunday through Thursday night business? Is it complementing Sunday through Thursday business? We want to grow meetings and sports sales successes. So again, if it's that meeting of the Indiana chiropractors and we're trying to get them here midweek in February or whatever sporting event type tournament it might be, I'm going to go into those in more detail in a second as well. Support the arts promotion and development, particularly music and public art. Those are spelled out and highlighted priorities in our newest strategic plan. So we've been dabbling and investing in a lot more music stuff this summer. I'll talk about that in a second as well. Create a diversity, equity, and inclusion plan. That's very important for the future. We haven't really started that yet. I know that I am smart enough to know that I am not the person that's going to create that plan, and we're going to need to hire someone who is. And from all things about the inclusion of minorities on my board for the way we might promote the Blackie Brown Festival, or there was a Hispanic festival at Switchyard Park a few weeks ago. We need to do more to promote that type of stuff and know more about that and just have that in our stable of events and things that we're promoting. So I look forward to developing out that diversity, equity, and inclusion plan before the end of 2025 as part of our strategic plan. Of course, continued financial stewardship. We get audited by an outside audit firm every year. Support the Monroe County Convention Center expansion. I want to make sure I get to that in a second. So I'm going to click through some of these. Our brand is one of my favorite things. We are standing here in the middle of a forest. Our community was built 205 years in the middle of the Hoosier National Forest on top of the most valuable piece of limestone in the world, right? It's 35 miles by 10 miles. It's one rock. And I think we've mined about 10% of it. That's the rest of it that's still down there. The Empire State Building and the Pentagon and whatever it is, 35 state capitals have been built out of that piece of rock that's right here. It's really the nature part of that rock and the woods that surround us, and then the nurturing of this university and everything and all that culture that it's created really is what our brand platform is all about. People, the outdoor recreation, all of the arts, all of the culinary stuff, all of that business travel that we're promoting it. How does the university and the creativity and the brain power and just all the activity, how does that wrap around all that, and how do we work that together? So certainly our offering is the nature and the culture part of that, with the sport part of that, one of the most attractive things and one of the biggest reasons people come here. Whoops. Conventions and meetings. So yeah, I talked about the community is 85 to 90% full most weekends when it comes to hotels and our venues. When we're not, it's more hotels or anywhere from 40 to 60% Sunday through Thursday night. So where's our area for growing? It's that weekday travel. We have been for the longest time the second most popular meeting and destination in the state of Indiana after Indianapolis. We are not trying to compete with Indianapolis. We don't need to compete with Indianapolis. They're hosting groups of 25,000, 30,000, some of those huge conferences. But again, I talked about the secret sauce here is people want to come here and feel like a college kid again. That energy, you can feel it in the air. That's why they come here, and they want to have their conferences and things like that. And certainly the nightlife and that type of stuff. Just more things like that. That's a sales sheet that we use. We travel to about 10 trade shows throughout the country every year, meeting with meeting planners. I think we met with 400 or 500 this year. All kinds of interest in coming to Bloomington if we have facilities and the dates where they can meet. So this is very exciting to us. Getting into that, the expansion of the convention center. We're so happy that last week the Monroe County Capital Improvement Board met. That's a board that's been created not just to work on this, but right now their priority is working on the expansion of the Monroe County Convention Center. We have I said we're the second most desirable convention or meeting destination in the state, but yet we have the smallest facility for that. So we're really looking at the best way for me to say it is try to double the size of that building. Right now we can host groups of about 200 to 300 comfortably. That means they can eat in one spot and have breakout space and that type of stuff for the event. We would love to be able to host 2 groups of 200 or 2 to 3 groups of 200 or possibly a group of up to 600, 800. The demand for that exists. We probably, Visit Bloomington probably walks away from the ability to bid on groups of those sizes at least once a month. I've got a list out of I think 600 events that we've bid on in the last 20 years. A little over 100 of them were too big for us to be able to host, but they were interested in coming here. So that's something that goes on all the time. And so we're looking forward to the expansion of that building, building it in a way that is adapted for the future. It needs to be flexible. Maybe it'll have a green roof, or maybe it'll somehow have some outdoor space where we can do all kinds of different things outdoors that people are looking for in that unique experience that they're looking for here in Bloomington. So again, really all it takes is one new group per week to make an impact here. A group of 300 or 400 in Bloomington on a Wednesday, Thursday night, as you can imagine, makes an incredible impact. But again, that modern, flexible exhibition and breakout space is what we're trying to build. So we look forward to that. That'll take a few years to get going, but luckily we have the Monroe County Capital Improvement Board has been formed, and I know Joyce Poling is here in the audience, and she's on that board. So we're looking forward to supporting their efforts. It's just more marketing things that we do. Sports travel. Am I okay on time? Okay. Sports tourism is a big part of what we do as well. 30 to 40 groups we work with a year coming here for sports tourism, bringing their families with them. The foul course has exploded. Cars Farm Park is another big attraction for us. Leisure tourism, I didn't get a chance to talk much about that, but all of our promotions and advertising, working with travel media for different ones that we work with. I'm sorry I ran out of time. These are just examples of different marketing things that we do, music efforts. We track everything. Last year was the first time we ever had over 1 million people use our website in 1 year. I'm tracking all the different things that we do. Last thing I want to talk about, then I'm done. I promise I'll take questions. Solar eclipse, you've probably heard of it. It's coming up next April. April 8th, 2024, on a Monday afternoon for 4 minutes, we are going to be one of the premier watching locations in the world. We're in the direct line of the total eclipse. We are expecting anywhere from 75,000 to maybe 200,000 people to travel to Monroe County to witness that. That's a lot more than a home football game on a Saturday. This is on a Monday. We're working with the university. We're working with all kinds of local stakeholders to have that. We've got several watch events happening. This is on our website. You can log on to it and see the different things that are happening. But that's a big thing coming up in 2024 that we're looking forward to working on. So.
Well, I'll ask you to do it. Stay.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I think I could talk about every one of those subjects.
What a perfect salesperson for our community and our county. Thank you. Well, I'll ask Mike to do is stay after for questions, because I know that a lot of you get nervous if we get past 1 o'clock. So Michael will be around here and answer your questions as we conclude the meeting. One of the things that has reminded me with all of the problems in the Middle East, think of the Rotary banner this year. Rotary brings hope to the world. We have responsibility as Rotarians to bring that hope to this world. So remember that as we conclude this meeting today. And Mike, in honor of your presentation, we will make a contribution to Big Brothers and Big Sisters here in town. I do want to give acknowledgments to people who make this meeting work every time. Our greeter, Steve Moberly, introductions, Dave Meyer, Zoom host, Joy Harder, reflection, Roseanne Levy, reporter, Bill Perkins. But I also want to mention Judy Schroeder, who puts it all together at the end of the week after the reporters turn to her, the wonderful job you do with the roundabout. Let's give Judy a hand. Obviously, our camera and mic operator, Tracy Jovanovic, and our Zoom and audio producer, Tyler Nichols. Our next meeting will be in the Georgian room. So Tracy, bring your pads as you try to work around. You may need some football pads. And our speaker will be Carol Kluger from the HT, which ought to be very interesting. So Tyler, if you'll put up the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all? And fifth, is it fun? Sorry to cut you off. No, that's okay.